Hey there, just Matt here. Just wanted to quickly shoot you a video. I think this is really important for you to know, and it perhaps will explain a few of the reasons why we do some of the things we do. So I've called this "Why We Do What We Do." Along here, right, basically I want to talk to you today about the reasons why we don't continually just go at it 100% as fast as we can all the time, and why it's bad practice to do that. At the end of the day, the most important thing for me is the health of you as a client. So with that in mind, everything I do in terms of my nutritional protocols, my lifestyle advice, and also with everything that we put together in terms of our training system, the utmost importance is health. Now, whether you primarily wanted health or not when you thought about it, when it boils down to it, there is nothing more important than your health. So, you know, if you came and you wanted to lose inches, if you came and you wanted to improve your fitness for a specific goal, that's great, because you'll definitely get that with the way that we do our programs. But the most important thing for me is your health long term. So just want to describe to you what we do. So you've got your intensity here, okay, going upwards, and then along here you've got like your duration, okay, so in terms of weeks. So as the weeks go on, from week 1 we try to pitch our intensity at about this level. Week 2 it goes a little bit higher. Week 3 it's higher again. And then week 3 and 4, there's not much difference between the two before we then drop down again to week 1 or week 5. All the programs that we design are based around that model. Okay. Now you might think, well, what actually does that entail? Well, basically in week 1, we look to use exercises that are kind of more or less complex. Okay. We perhaps use slightly fewer joints in one movement. Okay. We're also looking at what's happening with our centre of gravity, because we know that wherever the belly button goes, okay, the lower or higher it goes from the ground, okay, and in repeated fashion, the more your heart rate is going to go up. Okay, so we can use that very, very effectively to increase intensity or reduce it. We also look to use less impact exercises to help you build, help your body improve its relationship with those exercises. So it doesn't need to be going and doing lots and lots of high impact exercises straight away. It doesn't mean that you can't do any, it just means that you need to, we need to, as the people who are designing the program, consider that's a way that we can measure or gauge the intensity. We also look at combinations of exercises. So we like to combine exercises to get a greater response. So you might be doing squats followed by, say, an isometric squat hold. Now, we only do these for short periods of time during the initial stage of your training. So combinations of exercise, so you might go upper body, lower body combinations in the early weeks, and then you might go 3 upper body exercises followed one after another by the time we get to week 4. We also look at what you need to do in terms of your posture and everything else that's going to help you to move better and also function better. So combinations of exercises work really, really well, provided that the person is ready for that. So in week 1, you're unlikely to do lots of leg exercises back to back, or lots of pulling exercises in one go, so you're going to get different combinations. We also address the planes of movement. Now, all of us are really actually not bad at moving forwards. Okay, the thing that we struggle with is moving sideways and going maybe through rotation, or even in the reverse manner. So what we look to do is to help you move in all different directions. So when we're doing things like tube walks, and we're doing things like skaters, and we're doing rotational lunges, or we're doing bear crawls or reverse lunges, we're not just doing them because it's another exercise. There's a reason why we do these things, and we put them in there specifically in the right place to make sure that in the combinations they're in, we're helping you move better and improving your overall health. In terms of the load and resistance as well, so initially you may or may not use as strong a band, okay, and then as you go through you get stronger, you use more bands, okay. So you'll find that a lot of or weights, whichever way, if you're using our personal training studio, you'll be using weights for sure. Now you'll be using them in the early stages as well, but the load will go up. If you're using it on the fitness camp, then you're going to be using the bands, and you may well use the lighter band to start with and move on and do it more with the stronger band. We would always encourage you to do that as a progression through the program, because increasing the load is a way to progress and a way to challenge the muscles and challenge your body in a way that's going to help you get stronger and also improve your health and reduce the risk of injury, etc. So The next way we can tweak it is all work to restoration. And everyone thinks, well, like, can we do if we work for 50 seconds, surely that's better than working for 20. What we find is that the intensity that you can produce over 20 seconds is pretty much as good as what you would produce over 50 in terms of like the amount of reps you do, etc. So what we want you to do is, like, we want to try and move away really from doing lots of long, slow exercise, which we don't do any of, but the less of the exercise that we do that's kind of long, slow and at one pace, the better. Just bear with me, I've got to turn the music on. Okay, we've got a bit of Tracy Chapman happening. So anyway, what I want to do is just talk you through that. Now as we go through the weeks, you'll see the intensity increase. So we tweak around all those things. We start to do exercises that involve you getting down and getting up. We start to involve exercises that perhaps use the bands from different angles, okay, because we know that using the bands from different angles affects the way in which it's to do with physics, but it affects the way in which we move and how hard the exercises are. So what I didn't really want you to do is to end up training at like what we'd call a level 4 all the way through. It's not good for your neurological system, okay, it gets constantly drained. That's why things like what I'm doing at the minute with the half Ironman training, the fact that I'm doing swimming, running and cycling actually means that I'm avoiding overtraining, but that's the only reason, because of the level of intensity that we train at. You cannot afford to train at that level all the way through the year and expect to maintain your performance. It just doesn't happen. Elite athletes don't do it. I consider you as, I'm going to treat you like an elite athlete. I'm going to basically give you everything you need to make sure that you perform to your best. So with that, that's why we do what we do. That's why we're not going to be going crazy hard in week 1. It doesn't mean to say that you don't have to work hard. It just means that it's not quite as aggressive, and you can still come along and still feel like you've worked hard, but safe in the knowledge that we've taken care of all those factors that I've just mentioned to make sure that you can stay fit and healthy long term. Okay? I'm going to talk to you soon about the reasons why we do what we do during the warm-up, but I think that's enough for today. I just wanted you to know that this is the reason that we do the things we do, and why we're not going to be training at the intensity that we do during week 4 in week 1. Okay? So if you have any questions on that, I'm more than happy to answer them. But that's the main reason we do what we do, and they're the things that we talk about. So we're talking about complexity, joints used, centre of gravity, impact, combination of exercise, planes of movement, load and resistance, and work and restoration. There are a few others, but they're the main ones really that we look at when we design our programs for you to make sure that you progress on a monthly basis. Okay, have a great weekend. Take care. Bye bye.